right, ladies and gentlemen, really quick, I just want to tell you about one of our fantastic sponsors, and that is Soldier Girl Coffee Company. So if you are watching the video, you can definitely check out the screen share here. I am on our website, and you can go to affiliates, or this will be changing to sponsors soon, and click on Soldier Girl Coffee. As it says on the website, Soldier Girl Coffee is a veteran-owned company. They definitely provide the absolute best coffee I've ever had. It definitely has the pick-me-up that I need in the morning. If we check out her website, of course, down in the right-hand corner, you can definitely chat with her. You can get exclusive discounts she offers to our listeners just by putting your email address in the box on the website. As you can see right here, she has French vanilla cream, 100% Colombian, snickerdoodle Hawaiian hazelnut, and she offers regular as well as CBD infused coffee. So be sure to go and check out her website. Of course, you can get there by going to our website at businessandbrewsshow.com/soldier-girl-coffee, or you can just click the link in the show notes and it'll take you right here. You click on view products and it takes you over to shop around. She even has a little bit of merch. I know when I ordered my bag of Colombian roast, I really enjoy Colombian roast, and she has the best Colombian roast that I have ever had, and of course is a veteran-owned business, but I got a sticker as well as a thank you note, so I really enjoyed that. So now I have my very own Soldier Girl coffee mug that I can drink my Soldier Girl coffee out of. So once again, right now, exclusive discounts just for our listeners. Everybody drinks coffee, whether you're a veteran or a business owner. You're going to need it. You're going to need it for your staff. You're going to need it for your break room. You're going to need it for your house. So go ahead right now, click the link in the description, in the show notes, right here, right now, and go get some Soldier Girl coffee today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited and absolutely have to tell you about a phenomenal way to build your website and keep it up to date. My name is Ryan Smeltz, host of the Business and Brews Show and co-host of Veteran Talk Show. And if you are watching this, I want you to pay close attention to my screen share. This is the website of the Business and Brews Show. And the way I am talking about keeping your website, building it, getting it up to date, and having it managed is by Online Rob. So Rob is absolutely phenomenal. And what I absolutely love about this is he was able to customize the website exactly how I asked him. So as you can see, the homepage has a ton of different pictures from different episodes. Of course, here on the episodes page, you're able to listen on your favorite platform, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio Public, iHeartRadio, or Castbox. You can connect with us, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Listen to the 5 most recent episodes right here on the website. And of course, you can find our sponsors such as Soldier Girl Coffee and, of course, Online Rob. So the best thing about this is, as you can see on my screen, if you're watching, Online Rob is a veteran-owned small business. He will design, build, and manage the entire website for you. That comes with free unlimited updates, a domain name, your business email, and a logo if you need it. All included for our listeners is only $2.99 per year. As it says right on the screen, there are absolutely no contracts and no hidden fees. I handed this to him. He had it back within a very short amount of time. And anytime I need an update or have a question, he is there to help out. So I strongly encourage you, once again, for our listeners, you can go to businessandbrewsshow.com/online-rob, or you can click on the link in the show notes. If you are not watching the video version, the link is definitely in the show notes. Be sure to check out our website. I'm super happy with his work. I'm really excited that I no longer have to figure out where to get an SSL, how to install it. I don't have to install the pixel for my Facebook ads. I don't have to manage any of the analytical tools such as Google Analytics, and I don't have to figure out how to connect the domain or set up a business email. He handles all of that for me for the low price of $2.99 per year. So once again, for our listeners, Online Rob offering this exclusive deal. Be sure to go check it out. Make sure when you fill out the form, you put that you heard about him from us in the How Did You Hear About Us box. Business and Brews Show or Veteran Talk Show. Of course, you can always use my name, Ryan Smeltz. And no longer, as a business owner, will you have to build and manage your own website. Have Online Rob do it for you. Take advantage of this exclusive deal, only $2.99 per year. Best of all, he can handle everything from, of course, a podcast to an e-commerce site. No matter what kind of business you run, Online Rob can handle it for you. So go right now, click on the link, fill out the form, take advantage of this exclusive offer, and be sure to put the show name in his How Did You Hear About Us box. Now, let's get back to the show.
Welcome to the Business and Brews podcast, where our mission is to highlight local businesses and shed light on different industries.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Business and Brews Show. My name, as always, is Ryan Smeltz, and today I am super excited to have someone in the health and wellness space with us. Awilla, tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me. So I am the owner of a mobile wellness IV therapy. Jesus, what can I say what I'm doing? So I do mobile IV therapy. So I make sure that pretty much people have what they need when it comes to health to try to keep them healthy. So I have immunity drips. I have Myers cocktails, which are great for people that are having fibromyalgia, chronic conditions. I also have wellness drips that also help people in various phases, just people that want to feel better. I have energy drips for those that suffer from fatigue. I have various different drips that can help people pretty much for whatever they might be looking for. Everything is done IV, and we are completely mobile, meaning that you call us, we come to your house, to your job, to a party, wherever really you need us, we're there. That's pretty much what I do.
That is absolutely crazy. That is awesome. Like, so, because obviously a lot of the folks I talk to, they might be some of them in physical therapy, some of them in fitness, and then one I spoke to recently was essential oils. So I never in a million years would have thought I would have someone on who does IVs. And it sounds like you cover a broad spectrum of different purposes. So I'm really curious. And the number one question I like to ask people, Awilla, is what gave you the idea and how did you come up with this business and get into this space?
Well, let's just say that I worked in the hospital for a very long time. I've been working in the hospital setting since I was 18 years old. I have seen how everything traditional medicine works, and I don't like it. The system is broken and we're not trying to fix it anytime soon. So I got to reading and I got to research about nutritional IV therapy. Also, I got a job doing nutritional IV therapy. And I'm like, wow, I kind of like this because this works. So, reading books, doing research, and just knowing like, hey, vitamin C can really help when mixed with zinc for the immunity, and people don't have to go and buy Emergen-C, which is full of sugar. Instead, they can have a drip and be okay. So when COVID started, my brain started going, in all kinds of directions. And I told my husband, I think I want to do this. And he was like, do you really want to, like, this is a big thing. This is health and wellness is a big business because of the regulations. I am a registered nurse in the state of North Carolina. I cannot own the business by myself. I need to have a physician. So I found a doctor that was willing to do it. And he was like, let's do it. And I was like, I'm down. My husband said, let's sell my business. He sold his business. We started my business and here we are.
Oh, wow. You got everybody involved on that one.
It's a family effort.
Wow, that is crazy. So wait, is your husband the physician or is okay?
No.
So
he
you've
put
got
the money. Let's just say that he's the investor.
Okay, so you've got three people involved at least. So do you so it's interesting because you said COVID. So did you start before, during, after COVID?
During. So we
Okay.
started during, and I have a drip, which is the recovery drip from COVID. And that was my favorite. My number one seller is that drip, because after people have COVID, one of the things that they get is that fatigue, or they just have that body aches that lingers. I don't know if you had COVID, but that lingers for a couple of months sometimes. And that is just like fatigue. So I designed a drip. I spoke to the doctor. We sat down, we put it together, we tested out, and here we are. It has been a success. Everybody that gets that drip called me the next day. Oh my gosh, it worked. It works. I'm like, I know it works. I know. So that makes it.
So Awilla, how does this work exactly? Because I feel like this isn't a traditional thing. So do you have like, does the doctor come up with this stuff, or how do you determine what's gonna work well for what, and what you can combine and stuff like that?
So it's a whole team, we can say. So we took classes for this, and these are proven recipes when it comes to the mixture of medicines, of the nutrients. We also have pharmacists where we order the medications from, that we can call and like, hey, this patient is taking this medication, can I do a Myers? And they will tell you right then and there, yes, that there is no problem with this medication in Myers, go ahead and do it. And the best thing about these drips is that all these vitamins are natural and water soluble. So that means that if you take let's say you did an immunity drip, whatever you do not need, your body will just get rid of, which is great. So toxicity levels are like non-existent. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, because, it could happen. Thank God I've been doing this for now a year or so, and I haven't had any problems.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's like IV on demand. So
Correct.
if someone decides they want or need something and they reach out, is this like, is it something that is pretty quick? Like, what does your schedule look like? Is it a week out? Is it a month away?
No. So the way it works is that the person has two options. They either call with calling. That's how it happens most of the time, because this is still very new here in North Carolina. It's very common in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Florida, but here in North Carolina is very new. So people are still skeptical, a lot of education going on. So they will call. They call me, hey, I'm looking for this. I'm like, what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish with the drip? What is your past medical history? What medications are you taking? And how can we go? Like, the patient might become for, let's say, stomach flu. I'm like, I don't think it's stomach flu. I think this will benefit you more. Let's try this. And if they're okay, then we'll go with that. I have saved plenty of people from going to the emergency room. They tell me you are a lot cheaper than going to urgent care, where they don't even give me a bag of saline, or going to the emergency room. I have a client right now, she's diabetic type 1. So usually they know how to manage themselves very well, So she told me, can you come here when I'm having, a crisis, and just give me lactated ringers? And I'm like, of course I can, because that will save her from going to the emergency room, So
no, yeah,
come, it's crazy. So that's something different, right? And a lot of people say, can you do this at home? This is just like going to the hospital. Can I do it in the hospital? My license is still the same. I'm still a registered nurse. I still will do the same thing that I will do in the hospital,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, because one thing you talked about is how it's more affordable, and besides the fact that people really need that, it's also, obviously true, because you're coming to them. So I feel like it's the ambulance versus Uber ride analogy, where the Uber ride is going to be cheaper and sometimes get you there quicker. Calling someone, and the same has been true with a lot of the other health and wellness people I talk to. And then you also brought up the fact that, okay, are you allowed to do this in homes? Well, I think one of the base levels of nurse is CNA, and CNAs they do in-home healthcare companies exist all over the world,
Exactly.
and CNAs go into the home. So you have the higher level letters. So of course you can.
No, let me tell you something. I used to do home health as well. And the same thing that I'm doing right now, I could have done as a home health nurse. Like, I could have just go to your house, and if I get an order from the doctor and he wanted me to do, let's say, Lasix, I will go to your house and do the Lasix, no problems, and you never left your home. So same thing applies here. The only difference is that here we're doing it more aesthetics, we can say. It's not something that you necessarily need, but it's something to help and enhance your wellness.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's awesome that, you don't always necessarily have to do, I don't know what you would call it, but where you assess the person like you talked about before. Sometimes they just say, hey, this is what I need. Like the one lady, you said she needs this on a regular basis. Can I just call you and come? And then boom, it's out of the way. So I think
Yes, we
it's,
build a relationship. That's what it is. We build after that first visit, we build a relationship. And I know I keep all your records in a medical record, mobile medical record in system and everything. I have everything about you. So that after that first visit, everything just gets easier.
yeah. So I'm kind of curious because I was in the Army for 10 years, so I've seen some crazy stuff. I have a couple of stories, but because this is IVs, so just for the fun of it, what is maybe just like a crazy story, like somebody was, they needed it, but they were afraid of the needles, or maybe maybe the first time that you ever gave an IV, like what's something like that happened with you?
Oh, I can tell you, the first time I did an IV was one of the hardest drip, actually. I don't even like to go for that drip anymore, but it's so good. The drip is so good and it works so well that so many people request it that sometimes I take a leap. The drip takes 2 to 3 hours because it's called an NAD and it works with your brain and your DNA. But it's great for concentration, for brain functioning. During the transition that you're putting it in, right? You are like, you get headaches, you get dizziness, you get body cramps. It's a mess, the drip. But that's only happening while you're getting the drip. Like if I pause the drip, everything stops. And this lady that I went to do the drip on, I put the needle. As soon as I put the needle, she pulled the arm and she pulled out the needle. Like, I told her, like, I don't want to poke you again. If you do this again, like literally, I will not do the medication. During the transition that she was getting the medication, she kept them. I spent 6 hours in the house for a drip that was supposed to be 2 hours. And she didn't even finish because she kept them stabbing it. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it does. Oh, it does. Like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be doing. And I tell them what to expect prior to. Like I tell you, if you get the energy booster, your urine might be pink for a couple of days, just to let you know. It's going to smell like B12. So just to let you know, and they have that, in the back of their head. Like, I'm going to give you magnesium. Magnesium is going to relax you. So you're going to sleep better tonight. And tomorrow you're going to feel rested. But just to let you know, don't get up too quick because your blood pressure can drop. So I tell them this little thing so they are aware of what's going on, because a lot of us want to have control still over body. So I think that was the craziest drip I done. Like that lady just kept on stopping every 2 seconds and just, ow, it hurts. Oh, I want to throw up. Oh no, I just can't do it. Just can't do it.
That's interesting. Like someone that would call you for something, but then so I'm the guy, because obviously I have tattoos, and I've been to the doctor. We had to learn to give IVs in the Army, so needles on the skin are okay. It's when I go to the dentist and the dentist puts that one in your mouth. That's the one I don't freak out or anything, but I just break into a super bad cold sweat. Like I can't take it out.
Can you believe I don't do IVs? I do one on myself every month now, but I don't like it. I feel like it hurts so much. Like I just, I hate it. I hate it. And I don't have a problem doing it on people at all.
It's funny you bring that up, because one of the stories I was thinking about, and I'm sure from when you went through school, you probably saw this, but obviously we had to practice on each other. And so my partner forgot to pinch the catheter. So that was
what a mess. You know what I noticed when I started doing this business? That the hospital do not have the blood control catheter. So when I started doing this business and I was buying the supplies, I was like, what is a blood control? I had to actually YouTube it. Now we have the ones where they don't bleed. So you don't have to.
So you don't have to pinch it.
No, not at all. Not anymore. So I was like, why we didn't have this in the hospital?
So you're in the industry
Yeah.
that probably uses way more of these materials than you do. That's way more expensive than
Exactly.
anything you have, and you have the cool stuff.
I gotta say I have the cool stuff because I did a drip on a nurse and she goes like, oh, let me hold it for you. And I'm like, why? And she goes, oh, so it won't bleed. I'm like, oh no, I got the blood control. And she was like, what is that? Yes, it won't bleed.
That's insane. I really appreciate when business owners like yourself run into a problem or a situation, or even like you were just getting started, and they find a solution to something like that. That's the great thing about being in charge, is you kind of have freedom of innovation.
Yeah, and we try to give the customer the experience. I know you're sick, I know you're not feeling well, or you just doing this for wellness, but I want you to have an experience. I want you to be at ease. I want you to relax, be home, be comfortable. Like the other day, I went to do a customer and she was sitting around with her dog on her. I was like, where are you comfortable? That's the first thing I asked him. Where are you going to be comfortable? Because that's where I'm going to be. Oh, but don't you need a table? Don't worry about me. I know I got everything I need. I need you to be comfortable and enjoy the experience
Yeah, that's awesome.
because it's an experience.
Yeah, definitely. So, Awilla, you started this, you said roughly about a year ago.
Mhm.
You roped your partner and your husband into it.
Mhm.
So do you have anyone else on your team yet?
I'm currently looking for nurses. I need
Okay.
nurses because lately we have grown. It's just, at the beginning, it's more getting to know people and also a lot of education, and people just need to know that this exists, right? So we are breaking away from that phase and we're moving on to like the demand. Now people are knowing what I do. Now people are requesting a lot of referrals. So right now we're moving on to the hiring, the nursing part,
Okay.
which you would think it will be easier now, but it's a little tough
Yeah.
because you have to break the nurse out of traditional medicine and bring it into more of a holistic approach and prevention,
Yeah,
so that's
definitely. So out of curiosity, because I'm very uneducated in that space,
mhm.
what letters do they have to have?
RN.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or they could be LPN as well. Right now, they, as of the beginning of the January, I believe, they're allowed to practice outside of the hospital as
Okay.
doing IDs.
Okay. Yeah. I just know my little sister is a CNA, and I kind of know what that is a little bit, but that's awesome. So growing your team, growing your business. Um, I, I'm definitely interested because even outside of COVID, I feel like, during
You need a
COVID
little
starting,
boost.
starting in the middle of it, I think you probably would have been okay because it's something that people need, and you're
Mhm.
doing mobile visits so you can go where people are. But in general, what challenges have you seen in your business, and what did you do to overcome those challenges?
The challenge that I am currently actually going through right now, to be honest with you, is that I'm getting a lot of clients that are interested in the services, but they can afford it.
Mm,
So, and I want to help people. I want to really help my community because I have been blessed to be in the position that I am today. And I need a place. I need a place for these people to come because I can be a lot, my services can be cheaper if I had a store front, you know? So I told them, what we can do is that I have a place here in my house that I don't use. It's just sitting there collecting dust. We don't even pass by there. So I was talking to my husband and I think we're gonna make it into an office so people can just, if they want to be seen, if they need the treatment, they really do, they can come over,
that's nice.
and do it, or just talk to a doctor. I was talking to one of the acupuncturists. She said she's building an office actually, and she told me, well, once it's built, if you want to come here on Tuesday, I don't work on Tuesdays, you can use the office. So that's another one. So that has been a little challenging because a lot of people, again, is the education part. They're learning about what I do. So the trust is not there yet.
Yeah.
So that has been one of the challenges, having a location where I can provide more affordable services.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. That makes sense too. So, you know, you want to spread the love and not not keep it all to yourself, you know.
No, not at all. Not at all. I told my husband it's not about becoming a millionaire, I am fine how I am. Like, do I want somebody else to work for me? Yes. But at the same time, it's like, I really do want to help people. And I know that this nutrients help people,
Yeah,
So like
absolutely.
I was texting with somebody yesterday. She said, I have a terrible migraine for a couple of days, but I cannot pay $300 for the drip. And I text her back, where do you live? Instead of me going to you, can you come to me?
Yeah.
I have a cancer patient, that same thing. She comes here. So I'm like, so it really, I make myself available to help out as much as I can. Because at the end of the day, I'm caring for the person.
Yeah, definitely. So we talked a little bit about your how you got started, your challenges, and now it's super exciting because you're growing, so you get to bring more people on board. I'm curious, Awilla, where you see this going. So what's your long-term vision look like for the company?
I want to be all over North Carolina. I want to be all over North Carolina. That is my vision. So I started here. I even talked about it with my partner, the doctor, and he is like, North Carolina is too small. We need to go out. So I said, I'm fine with North Carolina. So for now, mobile is the way to go, I think. Medicine is moving towards that a lot. I actually met a group of doctors and they're called a home care, and they go to people's houses. They don't have an office. That's what they do. I also just found out about doctors having something called direct care, where you pay a membership and you can go to their office. You could talk to them and you can do a whole bunch of services while in their office. So medicine is definitely changing. We are changing, and I want people to be comfortable and evolving at the same time with me, and getting the services that they need.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You bring up a really good point about medicine changing, because it sounds like, just talking to you, that because I feel like there's two types of people. There's the people who say, oh, healthcare is broken, or the banking system is broken, or whatever. They should change it. So they say, this is broken, someone else should change it. And then there's people like you who say, this is broken, I'm going to change it.
I'm going to make a difference, because we all can, to be honest. We all can. And
Yeah,
it start with us.
I'm super excited about this. It still blows my mind that it's like, an in-home healthcare IV, and you just,
You
take
got to
care
see
of
the
whatever the
setup too.
ailments are. Yeah.
You got to see the setup, how everything is. I have everything in a luggage, and they say it's everything in there. Everything is in there.
Hey,
When they see when I open everything, because it open like a table, like, oh, nice.
that's fantastic.
Like,
So
yes, I'm mobile. I told you.
that's awesome. So now, Awilla, I want to jump into the 4 questions we've had brewing. The first one, and it sounds like you are absolutely super busy, but when you are not helping out your folks with the IV drips, and working your butt off with your company, what do you like to do for fun?
I go to the park with the kiddos. I have a set of twins and a 9-year-old. So we like to explore different parks.
Okay. That's
So we like to walk a
so
lot.
I have a question for you.
Mhm.
You said you have a set of twins.
I do.
Are you a twin?
No,
Is one of your parents a twin?
no.
Okay. My
One of my
fiance,
uncle had twins. That's about it.
huh? Okay. My fiance wants twins, and her mom was a twin, and she says it skips a generation.
You might.
So I'm not sure about that.
I don't know about that neither, because it was not on my generation, my parents' generation, we can say.
Well, I guess we'll find out once we have
Mhm.
kids.
Yes,
So
it's a lot of work.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
taking them to the park and stuff. That sounds like fun. Do you guys have any pets?
Not yet. The
Okay.
9-year-old has been begging for a dog, but the way I see dogs is like another child. And my twins are only 4, so I'm waiting for them to be a little older before we bring another family member.
Okay. Yeah, we went backwards, so we have a 15-pound puppy right now. She's already trying to get another dog, and we're in the middle of trying to buy a house.
Oh, you see, I'm actually looking for some acres
Okay.
because I live in Raleigh, so I want to get out of the city. I want to go a little more rural and, a little country. So I say at that point, we definitely needed the dog, but right now I just can't afford to have another baby. Just a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. So the second question, Awilla, is what well, it may be a book or books, but what book are you currently reading?
The book I'm reading right now is called Vitamins and Nutrients. I'm very actually fascinated by, this is a doctor that wrote it, and he just goes into little details about everything, the way it works. So you can, my brain doesn't work by you telling me, here, take magnesium, this is gonna help you to sleep. My brain needs to understand what pathways in the brain are involved in this in order for me to understand why.
Yeah.
So this doctor just go into little details like that. He explains from A to Z how everything happens, what triggers this, that, and it's really interesting. Really interesting.
That's awesome. I have a book that I finally finished, which is funny because it's called Finish, and it's by John Acuff. He also wrote the book Start. So the premise behind both of those is Start is for the people who struggle to begin things,
Mhm.
and Finish is for the people who struggle to finish things.
Finish things.
Yeah,
Oh.
he goes into detail. So, for example, one thing is people will start something, and if they don't hit their goal or they don't get the expected result, they might give up or stop.
Mhm.
And so
It's
he's
true.
like, well, if you set a goal of say 100 in 100 days, whatever the case is, and you get to day 75 and you only have 40 done, then cut your goal in half down to 50. Then when you do 10 more by 100 days, you hit 50, you still hit your goal. So cut your
Mhm.
goals in half, and then you still get that sense of accomplishment.
Yes, that is actually very good. Never thought about it like that. I like to build stuff, so I
Yeah.
do a lot of DIYs around the house. Yes, I I just built my closet not so long ago. I actually wasn't happy because I was building some little shelves, and I did not have a table saw, so I was really cutting it with the hand saw. And
Oh
I told my
my.
husband, I just can't make this straight line. And that frustrated me so much because I just couldn't make the straight line. I tried so many tricks. I went on YouTube and tried them all. And at the end, I built the thing. And when I looked at it at the end, like, well, it's not exactly how I wanted it, but it looks great. And I built it.
Yeah. That's
I
awesome.
built it. So.
My buddy in Kurt Ballish in Fayetteville runs Ballish Woodworks. So maybe I connect you and he can help you cut straight line. He
I know.
holds workshops where people come in like you that want to learn woodworking,
Mhm.
and they'll
Yes.
make cutting boards, or he calls them everything boxes, where it's like it's kind of like an ashtray, but it's for like your keys and stuff.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool. But then
Yes, it's very interesting.
also you could buy a saw.
I did. Oh, That was my Christmas present.
Okay.
I got one. I
Okay.
wasn't actually, I like to work with what I have. I do not like to purchase, like,
Oh,
if
okay.
I have a hand saw and the table saw is going to do the same thing, why am I going to get a table saw? You know what I mean? Like, I
Okay.
like to work with what I have. But I told my husband, I'm giving up on this one. Like, I need a table saw. Buy me a table saw.
Yeah. I was confused. I was like, why is she using a handsaw? You could just go buy a circular saw. Also,
Because that's why.
uh,
Because
I
I don't.
I don't know if I can find it, but Ashley Morrison of Abundant Marketing in this area, she is kind of like you. She likes it. So she has a sped up video of her like painting a wall or doing a project or something like that.
I follow somebody on YouTube, and he's the one that he teaches me how to do everything. He taught me how to patch the hole in the wall.
You-
Just little things like, I learned how to paint, without using painter's tape, just by using the brush.
You're
So
you're just
I did
a
that.
do-it-yourselfer.
Yes, I consider myself a DIYer.
That's awesome. So the next question, we talked about this. If you could have a beer with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
It will be a cup of coffee.
Nice.
Yes.
What kind of coffee?
It has to be, you want me to tell you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has to be espresso
Okay.
with evaporated milk, regular milk, and whipped cream
Okay.
on top with cinnamon and nutmeg.
Okay. I
No
support
sugar.
this. I support that
No
decision.
sugar.
I'm a big coffee drinker, so
That's my thing. Only one cup in the morning. And who would it be? I definitely, you'll be interested in this one. It would be Donald Trump.
okay.
Yes. And yours, no, not a medical person.
You're
It would
not
be
the
Donald
first
Trump.
person to say that, but why?
Really?
No, I've had just I think in the past couple of months, probably at least 4 people have said Donald Trump.
The why, I would like to know what is his interest in, like, in America. He didn't have to become president. Why
Yeah.
did it's not something that happened all of a sudden, I can tell you, because I have watched his interviews from prior years, and where he started mentioning, that he was into it. Like, what interest does he have? Like, he didn't have to be president. It's not money, I can tell it's not the money because he has more than enough.
Yeah.
So why did he choose to become president? Does he love America that much?
Yeah.
Was there an interest? He did a lot of great things. Many people may not agree. He did a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, because we're not perfect. We haven't seen a president that's perfect, but
Yeah,
but
that's a good answer. So I've actually read his book, The Art of the Deal. I have his book, The Art of the Comeback. I haven't gotten into that one yet. So I think that definitely provides a little insight. Kind of into his business dealings. I'm not sure if he's come out with another book yet. But I think if I didn't get the chance to sit down and ask him those questions, then hopefully any new books would. And then I'm not sure if they really talk about what you said you wanted to ask, but he did hold an interview fairly recently with Candace Owens.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
The 1 hour one where they sit down in
Yes.
the chairs. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, it was a good interview. I kind of wish it would have been longer, but that's just
I know.
that's
I
just
know.
me.
Yeah, no. I actually I don't do politics, by the way. I
Yeah.
really don't like to get into it, but I'm passionate about certain things. And for people that I see that are doing something good for the country and for the community. And then we got others that are not so good. And
Well, I think at the end of the day, and a lot of people that have said the same answer, it's more geared towards his mindset,
Mhm.
his business,
Yeah.
because I mean, there's thousands of people out there, I would love to be able to sit down and pick their brain. I think if I got to sit down and have a beer with anyone, probably with where I'm at with my podcast and with everything that's happening right now, I would probably pick Joe Rogan.
Really?
Yeah, he has probably one of the longest podcasts, and he puts out consistent content. So I already know a little bit because I've heard him talk about it, but I would really just want to ask him questions geared toward, hey, this is where I'm at right now. How do I get to where you are?
Somebody that does my marketing told me that I will like just get on front of people's face and like just do that. Just talk about your business. Talk about what you do. Don't sell them their problem, sell them the solution. And like, oh, what do you have? You're in pain or you're fatigued. Oh my gosh, you work all day. And I bet when you get home, the kids, I got something that can really help you out. Would you like to try it? Instead of coming and selling, well, I got this energy drip. This can really help you out. I have this weight loss drip. Like, hey, you want to lose a couple of pounds? The summer is coming up. It will be great if you feel this way to gain your confidence. So I started to just talking to people about the service, how I can help them instead of me giving them the service. You want to get it with me, and I'm plenty of time. I tell them, you don't have to get it with me. You can go somebody else if you want. Now I can tell you the experience that you will have with me, it's going to be totally different. It's going to be a lot better because to me, you're not a number, you're a person. I'm not a franchise. Nobody controls me. I have a partner. He does, him and I talk and we come to an agreement. Yeah. And like, to me, you're a person. To a franchise, you're a number. That's what I tell them.
I like it. That makes me think of I just started with another networking group. And so that's kind of what we do at the beginning is just go around, introduce ourselves and give our, 30 seconds. What do you do? And that's what I do when that 30 seconds rolls around. Just tell people I do podcasts. So that's a good time.
I have a little harder time to explain what I do because when I say IV nutritional medicine, people don't understand.
Yeah. No,
so I gotta go. I do IV infusion. I do vitamin infusions at home.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I feel like a lot of times whenever you bring up what you do, people are probably going to be curious because it's new, but it's awesome.
Yes, it is.
That's fantastic. So Awilla, I have one more question for you. The most important question you're ever going to be asked on this podcast or possibly any podcast. And that is whether someone is interested in working with you or possibly starting a health and wellness business. And they have questions about that, or they want to take advantage of your fantastic healthcare services and make themselves feel better. How can people find you?
A couple of options. Number one, you can just call me 919-922-8311. That's the cell phone that I have for the company. Another one is through the website, ncmobilewellness.com. You can book over there whatever you would like, and I will call you back and just go through the whole questionnaire with you and answer all your questions. Because at the end of the day, again, I want you to be comfortable and confident that you're making a good decision when it comes to this kind of service.
Totally. Well, Awilla, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to hop on this call with me. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first, NC Mobile Wellness. Absolutely reach out to her. Most importantly, leave us a 5-star review. It bumps the podcast up so more people can hear about Awilla's wonderful business, helping people out with their health and wellness. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and most importantly, tell your friends to subscribe as well. Awilla, once again, you can hang out just for a second afterwards, but I really appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you so much for having me, Ryan.
This has been the Business and Brews Show, hosted by yours truly, Ryan Smeltz. Edited and produced by Ryan